Adama wiped the sweat from her brow with the back of her hand as she bent over the groundnut plants, carefully plucking the mature pods from the sandy soil. The midday sun beat down relentlessly on the small farming village outside Bamako, Mali. At 16 years old, Adama spent most of her days working in the fields alongside her father and younger brothers. Her mother had passed away, giving birth to her youngest sibling, leaving Adama to take over most of the household duties in addition to farm labor. Though the work was grueling, she didn't mind much. The rhythmic motions of tending the crops had a calming effect on her. As she reached down to deposit another handful of groundnuts into the basket secured to her back, a voice called out from the dirt path running along the edge of the field. "You work harder than anyone I know, Adama." She turned to see Boubacar, a young man around her age, approaching with a toothy grin. With his slim build and kind eyes, Boubacar couldn't have looked more different than the burly farmer boys Adama was used to. An easy confidence emanated from him. "I've noticed you," he went on. "You help with everything, in the fields, hauling water, cooking, cleaning. When do you get time for yourself?" Adama didn't answer right away. Working from sunrise till sundown, days blending together in a hazy routine of unending toil, she hadn't considered having time for herself separately. The idea seemed foreign, almost silly. "My father needs my help," she said finally with a shrug. "That's all that matters." From the corner of her eye, Adama saw Boubacar nodding slowly. Most girls in the village got married off to farmers or tradesmen while still in their teens, but Boubacar wasn't from around there. His family had blown in from Senegal a few years back, displaced by drought, and he'd traveled many miles by his young age. "Well, if you ever want a break from all your labor," he said with a warm smile, "I'll be catching runaway groundnuts trying to escape your basket." With that, Boubacar chuckled at his own joke and continued on his way, leaving Adama to ponder their conversation as the hours of work dragged on. Over the next few weeks, Adama kept running into the charming Boubacar around the village. He never pressed her, but always found a way to compliment her diligence while playfully encouraging her to take time to enjoy life's small pleasures, like watching the sunset or listening to the village's bee traditional music being played beneath the palava trees. Slowly but surely, Adama found herself looking forward to their encounters, her heartbeat quickening whenever he was near. There was just something about his adventurous spirit and easygoing manner that stood out amid the hard-bitten villagers who had known lifetimes of hardship and want. One sweltering evening, as Adama finished laying out the laundry to dry on the hard, cracked earth outside her family's humble shack, she heard the beckoning rhythm of bee traditional drums coming from the center of the village. Following the hypnotic beat, she was delighted to spot Boubacar joyfully playing a djembe hand drum as others danced around the fire with reckless abandon. "You should join them," came a soft voice in Bambara, her mother tongue. Adama turned to see her beloved grandmother, Mariam, smiling warmly at her. "But father needs—" Mariam raised her hand. "Your father can look after himself for one night," she insisted. "Even the quail caught in the bushman's net needs to stretch its wings now and then." Adama opened her mouth to protest before thinking better of it. With an eager nod, she smoothed out the wrinkles in her sun-faded dress and made her way to the outskirts of the dancing circle. As if he'd been watching her approach the entire time, Boubacar's eyes met hers and crinkled with delight. Rising from his drum, he crossed over and took Adama's hands in his, leading her into a bee traditional line dance. Though at first self-conscious, the rhythms soon had Adama lost in the moment. They danced for what felt like hours as the moon traced its path across the starry sky. While the drums pounded and voices joined in bee traditional folk songs, Adama and Boubacar locked eyes. In that instant, she knew he understood her, not just the side of her carved from years of unrelenting labor, but her profound hopes, her restless spirit, her very soul.